Good evening, this is Carolyn, and welcome to Scrapbooking with a Twist. We are going to do a base page tonight. We're going to do all about that base. That is a hop that we're doing over on Ginger's Corner, and it is a, a fun hop. If you'll look in the description box, I'll have a link to Ginger's Corner. If you have not ever seen or participated or just looked at Ginger's Corner, you need to look at it. It's literally thousands of us in a community, and we love to scrapbook, we love to make cards, we love to play with paper, and this is one of the hops that we're doing, and it is really, 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 really fun. We made 20 base pages. And then this first 20 days of November, we are making layouts out of those base pages. This is the base page that I made, and I am going to do a picture of my son and daughter-in-law. They went to Magnolia, and if you're not from Texas, you may not know what Magnolia is. But Magnolia, if you remember Skip and Joanna Gaines from the TV series Fixer Upper, well, they have this really neat place there in Waco, Texas called Magnolia. And it has this huge gift store and interactive stuff and just things to look at, in a bakery that is to die for, and cookbooks. And anyway, it's just neat place. And my daughter and my sister and I went for my birthday a few years ago, and we got a little Airbnb, spent the night, did a bunch of stuff. So I had a little bit of stuff left from those layouts that I hadn't used. And so when I was looking for pictures to do on this base page, and I ran across this one, I thought, well, I think I can definitely make that work with these colors. And then I pulled out some of the things that I had Waco left over, and then I had bought some of these little stickers at a store, and I had this little bag still in my stuff, and so I thought, I'm going to end up covering up a lot of my base page. But anyway, I think I'm going to like it. So we're going to start with, I wanted to use this little bag on one of my layouts, and it just didn't make it. So I cut it down even a little more. It was a considerably larger bag. I cut it down even a little bit more, and I'm going to use it on their layout. And then I threw this little piece of ribbon on there since it was this blue and white layout. So I'm going to put this Waco up here because I know I'm going to use that up there. I ended up going back and cutting that a little bit so that I could get all of Waco on there without it overlapping that. So I'm going to put that on there, and then we'll play with our embellishments. See if I can get this glued on there. But if you have not been to Waco, it's a fun little town. You can do a little tour of Waco, and they take you by some of the houses that they did, like the Shotgun House. Some of the ones that were kind of, I guess they're more notable redos. You know what? I think this has sticky stuff on the back of it. Let me see. It does. I need to take that off. I forgot that these had sticky stuff. I'm not going to trust the sticky stuff on them. These are some glitter letters that I've had forever and a day. I haven't used any of them in a long time. And I had them pulled thinking I would use them on my Waco layout. And I thought, well, let's let them make my kids' Waco layout. So let's get that on there. Got that one off so we can use it. My luck, I would forget, and then the backs would come off of that, and then my letters would come off. Like I said, I don't use glitter a lot anymore, but I wanted to use, I pieced together out of this set that had some used out of it. I had pieced together, I think this was actually a G, and I cut it off, the Waco to use on one of my layouts for our trip, and it didn't make it, so use it for theirs. Use it for theirs. My son had to go down there. He was helping some guys work in a sale, and so my daughter-in-law just went with him. Her dad was going to be there also, so she went with him, and they had a day date. He had to work that night, but he had a day date. They had a day date to go to Magnolia. All right, so there's that. I'm going to go ahead and get this picture backed and start laying some things out. And while I'm doing that, I'll do the twist. The twist tonight comes from Ecclesiastes 4, 9, and 10. And it says, 2 are better than 1 because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. You know, we're stronger when we're better when we have someone by our side, when we have someone to help us and have someone by our side. And marriage is that same way. And I thought, well, since this is my son and daughter-in-law, I'll just kind of do a little thing. But I mean, it applies to friendship just as well. Marriage, friendship, it doesn't matter. When we work together, we're stronger. When we stand side by side, and when we're weak, maybe they're strong, and when we're strong, if they're weak, we'll be strong. But when we are weak and someone has helped us, we're way more likely to want to help them when they have a weak time. And I think that's the way marriages work. It seems like anymore we kind of do the opposite of that. It's like, yeah, let's just kick them while they're down. Kind of seems to be the attitude of our culture anymore. But that was not God's plan. God's plan is that when we're weak, that others help us, especially a spouse, a maid, a friend. And when they're weak and we've recovered, we help them. We sacrifice and we give and we care and we nurture and we encourage. And then that time will come, as it always does, that we need that same thing. And so it's give and take. And sometimes we may feel like we give more than we get. But, you know, that's one of Ginger's little sayings here on Ginger's Corner is sometimes you get more, sometimes you give more. And that's just life. That is just life. And so we are stronger. We are more enduring. We are more productive when we work together. And especially as a husband and wife, but also especially as friends, true friends. That works true also. All right, I'm going to put the sack down. Go ahead and get it down. And then we will work on placing our picture. And then I have some embellishments that are not really typical. Well, I've got some from there, but like some little glitter embellishments that I dug out of the old stuff. You know, I'm using old stuff. And we'll see what we can do with it. I liked this base page when I made it. And I do like it with this picture also. I mean, it could have been cute for anything with my boys with these colors, but I like it. And I don't do too many layouts of just the adults, you know, like my son and daughter-in-law, like their anniversaries and birthdays and things like that. That's about it. And I found this matches this frame, these little frames. They don't exactly match those letters, but I still think it's good. This is just chipboard, and those were a set of stickered chipboard letters. But I want to slide this. I thought it was neat with this paper that had the circles on it. So I'm just going to slide that right in under there. And then we're going to get this little frame with our journaling on it right there. You can see the pictures of the silos. It's actually called the silos, I think, but it's part of the Magnolia. Their home is Magnolia Farm, and they built all of this. They used these old silos. That's their offices, I think, are up in those silos. But it was established in 2016. But I don't know how long their show has been on television. It's been a good while. I was thinking, I think I put that in there to just kind of give that a little bit more of a base in there. I do remember I put that flower up there, and I put, this says, be in love with your life. And I love to watch my son and daughter-in-law because they are in love. They have 2 boys, and they are in love, and they work together well as a couple, and that's it's neat to watch them do that and raise their boys in a godly home, and it's just fun to watch all that. So put these, I got these little stickers when I went, so I thought, well, I may as well use them on theirs. See if we can get these little things down here somehow. Maybe. There's a suspension bridge in Waco. This is a picture of the Silo Bakery. Oh, I mean, there are things in that bakery that are just unbelievable. We ate cupcakes that were just, oh my goodness, they were good. And this one says, take the scenic route. And then we've got, I've got some flowers that I'm just going to scatter. I think I put that off down here somewhere. And then I've got a couple more flowers we'll work in somewhere. So let's get their picture down. I think I need, because this is kind of thick, I think I need to put a little bit of foam on the rest of that to keep it up the level of those that handle, that twisted handle. Let's see, so I need across the bottom. And then what do I need? I need down this, let's see. When I turn it over, I forget. I need down this side. And that probably is enough since it's gonna, yeah, that'll work. Okay, so let's get that up there like that. Then figure out exactly where we want our embellishments. Okay, I think that's good. And we can go ahead, I think, and put this on there. I just got back from my sister and brother-in-law. We have what we call Cousins Weekend. And if you've been watching, I think I told you I was getting ready to leave. But we had our Cousins Weekend, and they live in Edgewood, Texas, which is down like on the southern end of Lake Tawakoni, and it's East Texas, basically. And they have their little community festival this second weekend in November every year. And so we started last year having a cousins weekend where there's my sister, me and my brother, and then there's another girl and guy cousin, and then their husbands and wives and everything. And so it's just adults, no kids, none of our kids go. And we stay at my sister's, and then we do that little festival. And we baked all day long on Thursday. because they have a bake sale, a big bake sale. And so we baked all day long on Thursday. Friday at 3, you could take your baked goods into the place where they were going to do the bake sale. And so it wasn't 3, it was later than that. I think you could do it 3 to 5. And so we were later than that. But we walked in and we were embarrassed at how much stuff we had. I mean, we just got to bake in. Let's do this. And we did cookies and we did cakes and we did popcorn things and cupcakes. And we just got going and it was fun and we just kept going. We literally had the entire back of my sister's large SUV totally covered in baked goods. And we thought, well, that's just too many. We better not take them all. Oh, we'll take them, and then, but they'll probably tell us, please don't bring that many next year. So we walk in with the first load, and we had 2 loads, and they were like, oh my goodness. We just called the lady that's in charge of all the different things and told her, we don't think we're going to be able to actually even have the bake sale. We just don't have enough stuff. And maybe we could just set up a little table and sell what we have. But because they have their little festival in this little historic village that they've set up. They restored some of the historic, like the train station and the carriage house and the little grocery store and some things like that. They restored all those and kind of made this little village there. And so they have a lot of the things in those little houses. And then they have the blacksmith shop. So they have demonstrations going on there, and I think a candle shop and just things like that. So it's really neat. And she said, we just got through calling her and telling her that we felt like we'd better do just a table or something because we really just don't have enough baked goods to put them in the little store. It would just look ugly. It would look chinchy. So when we walked in with all of this stuff, they were just like so excited because now they could have their bake sale. And so we didn't have to not take things for next year. It was like, we promise we'll make just as much next year. So it worked out really good and it was fun. We felt real good that we had done it. Okay. Hey, come back here. Now, these are really sticky, so I need to get it where I want it. I bought these when we went and just didn't get them used, so now I can use them. I want to overlap them. This is a suspension bridge. This is the Silo Bakery, and this is the Pratt Neff building, and it's kind of a famous, I mean, it's kind of an icon building there in Waco. But if you do that little Waco tour, it's really neat. They take you, of course, Baylor University is there, and they take you around Baylor, and you eat some ice cream in kind of a famous ice cream shop, and then they just take you all around. They show you it's on a river, and I mean, it's just a really neat tour. You really need to do it. I'm thinking since I had that on that wax paper, I better put just a tit of a glue on there to be sure. And I probably should put this building up on foam, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to leave them flat along there. I'm going to put this little flower just kind of up in here to break this up. And then I've got a couple more little flowers. I'm going to see if I can put them maybe on some of these kind of swirlies like that. That's kind of what I was thinking. So let's get that down. But we had a really good time. I'm really glad to use some of these older, like, glittery things. Like I said, I just don't use glitter stuff a lot anymore. I mean, I use it occasionally, but not a lot. And I had these chipboard things for a long time, and now they're getting used. I used scraps to back my papers. This was a scrap to, back my pictures. And this was a scrap. These are not the same colors. Like, this was just a scrap of that kind of big check plaid, like, and they're not the exact same colors as those, but it blends good. And I liked it. That's all that matters. I'm yawning. We stay up way too late. We solve the problems of the world when we're there. And eat, and eat, and eat, and eat. I'm a lifetime member of Weight Watchers, and I haven't weighed in yet this month. And it is not going to be pretty. I'm not going to be over but my goal, but it is, the only reason is because I've been under it. Because they do not understand. And sweets, oh my goodness. Had so many sweets, and I hadn't been eating a lot of sweets. This one says, be in love with your life, and then I'm going to put another one down here that says, take the scenic route. These are just out of one of those Tim Holtz little books of sentiments. I hope you've been watching the others that are doing these layouts, because some of the base pages and then the layouts they come up with are so neat. And it's kind of fun because a lot of times when we're doing our base pages, we're trying to think, what pictures might I put with this? And you're thinking, oh, I could probably do this or do that or something else. And then when it comes time to actually put the layout together and you start looking for pictures, it's totally different from what you had, in your mind thought it probably would be. Mel did one that I watched today that she said, well, this is kind of like Halloween-y paper. And then she ended up doing a fishing layout on it, and it turned out really cute. Really cute. And I always assume that mine are going to have my grandsons, because that's always what I'm scrapbooking. And then this one didn't. It was my son and daughter-in-law. So I think that's it. And I think I like it. So there we are with day number, what is today? 10? I think today is day 10. And so thank you for joining me. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. Give me a comment. I hope you have a blessed day and be a blessing to someone else.